Welcome to Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program, or IJP, where I ask the question, whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's? A proud part of the Panoply Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Pizzaply Media. I'm your host, Brian Thompson, investigative journalist. Longtime listeners will recall that on the last episode of this program, I featured an exclusive report from Canadian correspondent Carl, who reported on the total solar eclipse that occurred over a Toronto area McDonald's parking lot. At the time, I had no way of knowing that this episode would turn out to be the first in what is now a multi-part series devoted to activities in the remote winter wasteland of Canada. In fact, I am having to investigatively journal so many new developments that I wish I owned a more comfortable keyboard. For some time now, my attention has occasionally turned to Canada, an independent colony of beaver trappers and ice sculptors who worship at the feet of British royalty. McDonald's pizza was quite popular there, and many of the priceless artifacts I have collected over the years, such as discarded pizza boxes, etc., feature the iconic golden arches with a small red maple leaf symbol embedded in the center. It was Canadian McDonald's pizza enthusiasts who first alerted me to the still unresolved controversy over whether or not McDonald's pizza crust was dusted with cornmeal. And to date, the only McDonald's corporate official ever to apologize for the removal of pizza from the menu is McDonald's Canada's president, Michel Boudria, who issued the following quote, and I quote, "I'm sorry," unquote. But despite the enthusiasm for McDonald's pizza north of the border, it remains unavailable for reasons that have recently become increasingly hard to justify. The one Canadian fast food chain that rivals even McDonald's in popularity is the fast food chain known as Tim Hortons. Founded in 1964, Tim Hortons is named after famed Canadian ice hockey player Tim Horton, who invented the donut by swatting a hockey puck through the center of a beignet. Since that time, Tim Hortons has grown into one of Canada's largest fast food chains. As of the year 2024, there are 3 Tim Hortons locations for every Canadian citizen. And even still, most mornings see miles and miles of dog sleds lined up at Tim Hortons mush-through windows. But Tim Hortons has been facing a dilemma similar to that of their rival McDonald's in the years immediately preceding the advent of McDonald's pizza. While McDonald's could rely on a steady stream of customers purchasing Egg McMuffins for breakfast and hamburgers for lunch, they were struggling to attract the evening dinner crowd. By the same token, Tim Hortons has no trouble selling donuts for breakfast and lunches of yet another donut, but they are also experiencing lackluster nighttime sales. And just like McDonald's before them, they have settled upon the only logical solution.
That Toronto Maple Leafs legend who once opened a donut shop couldn't have predicted the latest offering from the chain bearing his name.
I can't wait, man. Pizza? That'll be good, right?
Tim Hortons Pizza, served hot on flatbread with bacon and other toppings rolling out across Canada, with Tim's promising to install new ovens and to prepare the item in-house. Now, Tim Hortons is making a push to attract more customers later in the day and into the evening. Just ask delivery driver Kathan Parik till what time he typically makes Tim's runs.
Usually it's just the morning orders we get from Tim Hortons. It's rarely in the afternoon. We get it at maximum 11:30, then Tim Hortons is dead.
Yes, in a humiliating blow to McDonald's, Tim Hortons has brought pizza to their permanent menu. These pizzas are sold for only $6.99 for a plain cheese variety, or $7.99 for a pizza that is betopped. And keep in mind, these are Canadian dollars and cents. In American dollars, these pizzas would be so inexpensive that Tim Hortons would actually owe you money upon purchase. But the detail perhaps most humiliating of all for the McDonald's Corporation, which has long maintained the transparent fabrication that they stopped serving pizzas because they took too long to make, Tim Hortons claims their pizza ovens can cook a slab of pre-prepared dough and freshly applied toppings in about 65 seconds. Again, even keeping in mind these are metric seconds, it is still quite fast. I decided to begin my inquiry into this matter with a two-pronged investigation. Prong number 1. Acquire and try Tim Hortons pizza myself to see if it is comparable in taste and quality to McDonald's pizza. In other words, is it pretty good for the price? Prong number 2. Determine the manufacturer of Tim Hortons' new pizza ovens. Longtime listeners will recall that I previously traced the make of McDonald's original recipe pizza ovens to a company called Garland. I recall from the time that Garland provided kitchen appliances to a variety of fast food restaurants, including Tim Hortons. If this company is now making revolutionary new pizza ovens for a competitor, I would think McDonald's would like to know this information, and perhaps adjust their pizza strategy so as not to continue being metaphorically cuckolded. Thankfully, a few years ago, the Canadian government finally solved the nationwide problem of beavers chewing through all the telephone lines by loosening their animal cruelty laws. So, it is a very trivial matter to make contact with a potential informant across the border.
Hello, and thank you for calling Tim Hortons Guest Services Department. For English, press 1. Bonjour et merci d'avoir appelé le service à la clientèle de Tim Hortons. Pour le français, appuyez sur 2.
Thank you for calling Tim Hortons. My name is Imagine. How can I help you today?
Hello, my name is Brian Thompson. I'm calling with just a couple of questions about your new pizza menu items.
Yep.
Well, my first question is, since I am actually in the United States and I am outside of the nation of Canada, I do not believe any local Tim Hortons near me serve pizza. So I was wondering if perhaps I could arrange for some pizzas from Tim Hortons to be mailed to me from Canada to the United States so that I might try them.
I will be more than happy to check that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Just give me.
Is that a mechanical keyboard you're using?
So I have to create a ticket for this.
Oh, okay.
So I am just updating the notes on it. So for this, may I know your email address, please?
Oh, certainly. My email address is brian.com. That's B as in Brian, R as in Ryan, I as in Ian.
Okay, thank you.
I was just asking about the mechanical keyboard because it sounded rather springy, and I was thinking about maybe purchasing one for myself.
Okay, so for this, from delivery from Canada to US, so I have to check this one on a site if it's possible.
Okay.
Just give me a moment, please, so I can collect some information for you.
Certainly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just find myself using my keyboard on my telephone quite often. Of course, there's no feedback whatsoever. And even on my laptop computer, the keyboard is rather membranous and doesn't have very much tactile feedback. I miss the feel of an old-fashioned mechanical keyboard, so I was just wondering if you found working on yours to be a pleasant experience. That wasn't one of my questions about the Tim Hortons pizza, though. Side question.
Yeah, I can understand. So I am still looking into the terms and conditions of the delivery for the Tim Hortons delivery. So,
Okay, thank you. The only downside I can see to a mechanical keyboard is the loudness, but I was thinking about maybe just tacking up a bunch of bath towels around my walls and my ceiling and my floor.
so in your app, are you able to see any options for the stores that they can deliver? Because it depends upon some area. Because they can deliver within some area only.
I am looking at my Tim Hortons application, and I believe the nearest Canadian location is several hundred miles away. Do you have any drivers that are willing to make that delivery? I do tip 20% standard.
So unfortunately, we cannot arrange any drivers for the delivery. So if your app is showing that they can deliver it, so you can only order from there. Unfortunately, we as a guest service representative, we don't have any information on it.
Okay.
And we don't have any authority to arrange the drivers for delivery.
Well, what if I bumped up the tip to 30%? Does that make a difference?
So just give me a moment.
Okay.
I can check.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for waiting, sir. So the delivery is provided by our third-party delivery aggregator, and it depends upon the availability and restaurant delivery hours. Unfortunately, we don't have any information regarding the delivery.
I understand. Well, that answers the first question I had. My second question about the pizza is regarding the ovens that are used to bake the pizza. From what I understand, these are some kind of a new, semi-miraculous sounding oven that can cook a pizza within about 65 seconds. I was just wondering, do you know which company supplies those ovens to Tim Hortons?
So just give me a moment so I can see this information in our system.
Okay, certainly. That is a nice sounding keyboard.
Thank you so much for waiting, sir. So while I am looking the information for you, I'm going to put you on a brief hold for a minute, and I will be back within a minute for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for waiting.
Picture yourself on a boat on a river, eating a tangerine, looking at sky.
Thank you so much for waiting, sir.
You're welcome.
So I have tried to look for the information for you, but unfortunately, we don't have any information regarding the ovens that the store used.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am so sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Your apology is accepted. I guess I'll just try to find that information somewhere else.
So I would recommend you to visit the local store to know about this, because we as a guest service representative, we can handle only the restaurant issues or the complaints like that.
I understand completely. I thank you very much for your candor, though.
Yeah. No worries. Is there anything else I can help you with that today?
I do not think so.
Thank you so much for calling Tim Hortons. After this call, there will be a survey about your experience with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
And thank you. You too.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Next time, despite the best efforts of the powers that be at Tim Hortons, I do discover who makes their pizza ovens. Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com. To support the show, please join my Patreon at patreon.com/pizza@mcd's for exclusive benefits. And for more information, including links to social media, merchandise opportunities, etc., visit pizza@mcdonalds.com. Thank you to my invaluable Patreon producers: Bipolar Biped, Grant Bacon, Jacob Ford, Joe Kajik, Kimberly King, Andy McH, Kyle Turok, Pam Gabriel, Polly Egan, Thomas Young, Trisha Yates, Will, Adam Crump, Andrew Duffy, Andrew Ahmed Rubin, Billy Jean, Brad Allen Thompson, Creighton Barrow, Dan Dreyer, Jeffrey Francis Sylvia, Jay Poop, Calvin Thomas, Laurel Paul, Opus Moreski, Paul Fu, and Ryan Guggenmoss. I'm Brian Thompson, investigative journalist.